Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. We're at the M&R Boxing Grocery Show. You're watching Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. And I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. We got here with my dad, with Pops. We're on our way to Daytona to go to the fights, but I figured while I'm sitting here, I'd kill some time and I'd make some videos and deliver some boxing content to you guys. So make sure you guys smash that bell notification so you get all the stuff, all the videos, all the interviews on True School Sports. But I wanted to just give my thoughts on this Daniel Dubois versus Joyce press conference from yesterday. It was very, surprising. It was entertaining. I didn't expect Dubois and Joyce to be so entertaining, but I guess it's one of those things where you get two fighters and they bring the best out of each other outside the ring. And I'm hoping that that'll be the case inside the ring as well. But they're fighting April the 11th, for those of you who don't know, at the O2 Arena. It's probably, I would say, one of the biggest fights that can be made in the heavyweight division outside the champions. You got Joyce, who, he's undefeated, but people aren't really buying the hype of Joyce yet. And then you got Daniel Dubois, who everyone is pretty much buying the hype of, but this is probably his first proper step up because, let's be real, his last two fights, particularly that last one, have been cupcake opponents. What did you think about when he fought Fujimoto, Daniel Dubois?
I don't know if I was watching actually a boxing match or I don't know, just Dubois chasing the puppet around, because let me tell you, that was like a joke and a half.
Joke and a half.
I'm not gonna lie. But you've been saying that, but you told me before the fight.
I'll tell you about New Cats. Look, this is the worst. This is horrible.
Unreal. And when I seen that, I'm like, are you serious? But I mean, I guess a win is a win, because the hype. But now he's gonna be tested. Now he's fighting Joyce in his first true step up. And there was a lot of things said at the press conference, so we're just gonna kind of dissect it a bit. These two guys are not known for their mouthpiece. I mean, these two, many people have said before in the comment sections of many IFL TV videos that these two have the personality of a bucket of paint. They don't really talk much. They're both soft spoken. They do the talking in the ring. But I was surprised. I mean, you had Joyce, who came out and said it straight away, I'm gonna knock this guy out. I'm gonna knock him out. And you had Daniel Dubois saying that he was just calm. He was calm and cool about it, but he was talking about a sparring session, from when they were 17. Right.
Because I guess they sparred when he was 7. They sparred when Dubois was 17, and Joyce was like 26 years old. So he was saying, I was a kid back then. I'm a whole different beast now.
Yeah.
I'm a whole lot more mature. I'm ready for the next level, and this is gonna be my stepping stone. And basically he was saying, I'm gonna walk right through you.
Wow.
And Daniel Dubois said he was gonna walk right through him. Then Sam Jones, who's the loudmouth manager of Joyce and many other fighters in the UK. Sam Jones was saying that he hasn't fought anybody, that pretty much he's a joke for fighting Fujimoto, which, I actually agree with that. I mean, Dubois is not a joke, but I'm saying that fight was a joke. I like Dubois. That fight was a joke. He was the cherry pick of the year. And he said that, and then they had a whole thing going on about I guess, when they were in the amateurs, Dubois got to the final of some sort of ABA final, and he forfeited the match or something like that, and he was kind of hanging it over his head. So the one positive I see from this fight is, despite the fact that both these guys don't do a lot of talking with the media, you can tell that there's a genuine rivalry there, that they don't like each other, and I feel like those make for great fights. Those make for great fights for the build-up, and in the ring. I think the style matchup is the perfect style matchup. You're gonna have the plotting, come forward style of Joyce looking to break Dubois down versus the very dangerous boxer puncher style of Daniel Dubois. So I think the styles mesh well, and there's a lot of intriguing storylines going into this fight. A lot of intriguing storylines.
I think with Joyce, what I liked about him, I mean, he's only fought how many total fights he's had? About 10. 10, and
he's 34 years old.
Yeah,
so
10 fights.
Track him.
And he's actually basically he's been calling a lot of people. He even called Big Baby Miller one time, and he calls all the big names out there. So gotta give him that much.
Miller didn't want no smoke either.
Yeah, Big Baby didn't want no smoke. So whether it's 10 fights, 6 fights, 3 fights, he's still willing to fight the big guys in there. And he's actually won pretty good with a lot of the fights. I don't
Brian Jennings.
Brian Jennings. So, I mean, but I think him facing Dubois is going to be a real test for him. And for Dubois, is more or less moving up in the level of fighting, right?
His first, like, proper step up, you know?
Yeah, so...
Since the Nathan Gorman fight.
Yeah. But I got Dubois winning that fight. I think eventually his power was going to take over and knock out the Juggernaut, even though I like him.
The big Juggernaut, okay. One interesting storyline going into this fight is the fact that, you know, Joyce has switched trainers. He has left Adam Booth, and he has now went to Abel Sanchez, which I actually think is a good move for him. I think it's a good move because when we look at Adam Booth trained fighters, if you look at the history of Adam Booth fighters, George Groves, David Hay, you know, it's pretty much any Adam Booth fighter, they all seem to struggle and break down very quickly in their career. And personally, for me, I think the reason that a lot of them struggle is because Adam Booth has a way he trains his fighters, but he teaches them how to box their hands down. Okay. So a lot of his fighters wind up are reflex fighters, and when they get older, they suck.
Right.
Like they decline real quickly, which is why it was kind of funny that Adam Booth trained Joyce, because Joyce doesn't have fast reflex to begin with, right. So he can't be like adopting the Adam Booth style. So I don't think Adam Booth was fully able to ever get his philosophies and his ideas across to Joyce.
You're saying basically that
it wasn't a good fit in my opinion. Yeah. But he went to Abel Sanchez, who trains his fighters to fight and is seeking to destroy a title style, and he makes no secrets about it. Abel Sanchez tells you in interviews, I don't train my fighters to win a decision.
Yeah,
we go to knock fools out,
and that might be helpful for him because that's what he wants. That's what Joyce does, anyways. I think the only thing that I don't like about a lot of fighters is when they're getting into like a bigger point, like for him to step up for the ball on him, is that I don't like this last minute. I don't really agree with the changing. I believe it's not broke.
Don't fix it.
Yeah, don't fix it. I think mentally going into a fight with a new trainer and everything.
And a big fight.
Yeah, big fight. I think it affects for me personally, after having a voice that I've been accustomed to winning with and doing everything right. Like I said from the beginning, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I will stick with it. But in this particular fight, since you've been telling me before we got off the air, we were talking about Joyce. You always told me it was a slow reflex fight, right?
Oh, he is.
So maybe Abel Sanchez, being the trainer that he is, experience he's got, will be suitable for him. Because I mean, if you look at Joyce, he's changed a couple of promotional companies in the last few years, back and forth, going here, going there. So hopefully, Abel Sanchez as a trainer will help him be who he wants him to be.
Yeah, and you know, to be fair too, this actually isn't his first time working with Abel. He's done some work with him in the past.
Okay.
But I think that's when he can stick moving forward. Because I feel like if he's going to become the best version of himself as a pro, Abel trains fighters with his style the best.
Right.
You know. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes about.
As far as Dynamite.
As far as Dubois.
Yeah.
You know, credit to him, man. He's being moved at a good pace by Frank Warren. I mean, I'm giving him a lot of slack for the Fujimoto fight, but if you look at last year, they kept him busy. He fought Gorman, Richard Larte, Ebenezer Tateeth, Fujimoto, and he fought Razvan Kajanu. So 5 fights last year, 5 stoppage victories. You know, he's in the top 15 in the world. He's taking on Joyce at 22 years old. It's his chance to really announce himself on that world stage.
I think you always tell me the timing is everything.
It is.
I truly believe that his time he's progressed a lot to the but I think his time is gradually coming for a big world title.
Yeah.
I see that coming. I don't know how many fights. But I think his time is right now, the way that you say Frank Warren's going, but he's not rushing him. And to be fair, Frank Warren has another fight, I forgot his name. He just signed with them. He's a 22-year-old phenom, but he's doing the same thing with this, I can't think of his name, fighter with Dubois. So I like that, but Dubois, I think his timing is right. Back to the Dubois, I think it's his time to get tested, and he's come for that.
Absolutely. And then, one person we have to also include in this equation, because I'm thinking the winner of this fight, they might be on a collision course who wins this fight with Filip Hrgovic. Wow. Because Filip Hrgovic, he's kind of hovering around that top 15 as well.
Right.
there were negotiations for Philip Hrgovic versus Joe Joyce before this fight even got agreed to. I don't know if you know that.
Right.
There were the negotiations for I think a European title fight between Hrgovic and Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like, particularly if Joyce pulls off the upset and wins the fight, maybe we see Joe Joyce versus Hrgovic next. But personally, I think just for our sake, it'd be hilarious if Hrgovic and Dubois fought, because we have that bet going on.
Oh yeah.
We have that bet going on. For those of you who don't know, me and my dad made this bet last summer.
Yeah.
We shook on it last summer.
I don't win that many bets, but yeah, go ahead, man.
The bet was on who would become world champion first between Philip Hrgovic and Daniel Dubois. He said it would be Daniel Dubois. I said it'd be Philip Hrgovic. I'm very high on Philip Hrgovic. I think the world of him. And I've always thought the world of him ever since I first found out who he was and learned about him.
So you think Hrgovic,
If they fight?
who you think he can hold Dubois' power? He's got some power.
Do you think Dubois can hold Hrgovic's power? I mean, to be fair,
tested like that.
Because I don't know, man. It's hard to say, like, because Hrgovic has gangs of experience. I mean, he was a world class amateur. He fought loads of people in the World Series of boxing, like Joe Joyce.
We come back with that. He's got that
European
or whatever Croatian style. He doesn't. No, they don't come forward right away. When they do come, they're just gonna attack you.
I mean, he has a European style, but the thing is, he actually does have some athleticism to him.
Right.
And Pedro Diaz, because he was smart. He came to South Florida. Pedro Diaz has implemented that Cuban style with him a little bit. He's got little sprinkles of that Cuban style where he's moving and he's slipping his head and he's moving his head and he's learning distance better, because one thing Cuban fighters are great at is commanding distance,
right,
in counter punching. And I think he's had about five fights with Pedro Diaz. So the more time he spends with Pedro Diaz, the better he's getting. So, to be honest with you, I don't think we've seen the best Philip Hrgovic yet.
No, and he's not afraid either. Like he says he wants all the big. And I mean, the last fight that was good. I enjoyed the last fight.
Listen, I think Hrgovic, you give him 2 or 3 more fights. I think 3 fights from now he'll be ready for a world title shot. I think he'll be ready now, but just be safe, I think you give him 2 more fights and he can fight for a world title with only 12 professional fights. I think he's that good. I think he's that skilled. And personally, look, I know it's probably not ever gonna happen, but in the event that it does, and I'll probably chop this clip up if it ever does, I would love to see Hrgovic fight Deontay Wilder, because there was a sparring clip.
Oh wow!
They're both ex-Vladimir Klitschko sparring partners, and there's like this 30-second clip with Wilder sparring Hrgovic on YouTube.
Yeah.
From like 2013, and Hrgovic's like clipping him.
Like, do you honestly think that Wilder's gonna like?
No. Hrgovic's gonna be one of those Hrgovic is gonna be one of those fighters that will have to be a mandatory before he gets a title shot.
Before he even gets good.
Yeah. Nobody's jumping out the fight. Same thing with Dubois.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dubois. And to be fair, me and you were having this conversation because I was telling you about how I'm sick of PBC and Al Heyman, and I was telling you I kind of hope Daniel Dubois takes over the heavyweight division, just so Al Heyman and PBC and Eddie Hearn have less power.
Yeah.
F them. 2020 is the year of Frank Warren. Frank Warren, stand up. Frank Warren.
Yeah.
But I would like to see like a shift in power. I think whenever there's shifts in power between who's the top fighter in the division, then that's good for boxing, because then it forces the other promoters to make them to put their fighters in the big fights so that they can position themselves into that position of power. You want to always have the power changing in divisions.
I'm Josh.
I'm Alex.
And we both fight out of Intial's boxing gym in Dania.
And you're watching True School Sports.